First at 5, the trade war is heating up again between the U.S. and Canada, with our northern neighbor announcing retaliatory tariffs, including on Maine lobster. Good evening, I'm Katie Sampson.
And I'm Greg Lagerquist. Maine lobstermen have already been hit with increasing costs, including a spike in diesel fuel prices, largely tied to the war in Iran. Now, lobster organizations say the last thing they need is a lobster tariff. CBS 13's Brad Rogers joining us live now on the Portland docks.
And Brad, this is all part of Canada's retaliation against President Trump's new round of tariffs on hundreds of Canadian goods.
Yeah, right, Katie. In 2 weeks, Canada's Prime Minister plans to respond to the Trump tariffs with retaliatory tariffs of his own against American products. And that includes a 25% tariff on Maine lobster.
I think it's going to hurt the fishermen a lot. It'll hit us hard.
Kevin Smith just bought a lobster boat and spent part of the day setting traps on the ocean floor. For him, the tariff war comes at a bad time, knowing half the yearly catch comes in the last 4 months of the year. He says it would stink if tariffs lower the boat price for lobster.
It's good right now, but I'm scared it'll drop pretty good if they actually impose it.
In the fall, half of all lobster caught in Maine goes to Canadian processing plants to turn into meat and tails. Senator Angus King says the impact would double if President Trump issues a reciprocal tariff on lobster from Canada. He says if the president's misguided trade war further escalates, processed lobsters could be taxed again when they are shipped back from Canada to the United States. Senator Susan Collins also calls the new tariffs against Canada a mistake.
It'll be challenging for the industry with a 25% tariff.
Marianne McCroy heads the Maine Lobster Marketing Collaborative.
The Maine and the Canadian lobster industries are very integrated. A lot of product goes back and forth across the border, so any tariff either direction is going to be disruptive for the industry.
However, Congressman Jared Golden supports tariffs against Canada, saying, if Canada thinks they're better off without our goods, I wish them good luck. I suspect in the long run it won't go well for them. Tourist Byron Jackson agrees.
I feel like they had a free ride from us for probably many decades. A little tariff is not bad. If they're going to put a tariff on our lobster, I think we ought to put a tariff on their lobster also.
Other tourists oppose tariffs on lobster.
I mean, it's a shame tariffs are getting down to this level of lobster, particularly with Canada. I think they're our closest neighbor, one of our closest allies. I think we should figure out a way to do what's right to protect each other and get along.
I think they just got to sit down and figure it out. I mean, we're neighbors. You don't do it to your neighbor at home next door, so why would you do it to the country next door?
Maine Lobstermen Association says this could devastate the state's fall lobster fishery. It says the impact will be felt immediately on Maine's docks. A 25% tariff could disrupt that market overnight, putting significant downward pressure on the price paid to lobstermen. Canada plans to implement those tariffs on September 8th. We're live in Portland. Brad Rogers, CBS 13 News.
All right, Brad, we'll see if something breaks between now and then.